Hey guys, welcome back to Forever After Reacts. It's been a little bit. I used to do some NFL weekly pick'ems. It's probably been about 2 years from now. Then I kind of took a long hiatus. I made a video at the beginning of the year because I was reading some books. But I thought right as before we're about to start the new NFL season, I thought I'd try this NFL trivia questions, but they get increasingly harder, just to see where I kind of stand on my football knowledge, or we can just make fun of me for how awful I do. So I will put the link to this video in the comments. If you guys want to watch this by yourself or you want to play along with me, that's cool. I'll kind of be stopping talking to figure out if I know the answers or not. Other than that, let's get into it.
Time for NFL Throwback Trivia. 25 questions get harder as they go.
Hoping that this video won't get flagged just because it's from, it shows a lot of NFL content, so I don't know. This video might not even make it.
Let us know how many you get right in the comments section. Here we go.
I know I'm smarter than that.
Starting it off easy, what number did Aaron Rodgers switch from 12 to when he joined the Jets?
I'm pretty sure it is number 8. But we'll go with that. We'll go with number 8.
This is a surreal day for me. After spending 18 years in the same city.
Broadway Joe was down for A-Rod to wear 12.
It kind of gave it up there whenever they showed the jersey because it could only have been like a certain amount of numbers. So that's, I guess that one is kind of an easy one.
12, but Rodgers declined, taking on 8, which he wore at Cal in college. Jets fans kind of hoping he would have declined signing with them altogether. Question 2, off to San Francisco. What's this play called?
It's called The Catch, I'm pretty sure.
Looking, throwing in the end zone.
The audio. The Catch, all right.
Cowboys fans are like,
go,
most overplayed highlight in NFL history. Everyone else
I'm not
calls
gonna lie,
it the
I'm
catch. The play, known as sprint right option, was designed to go to Freddie Solomon, the slot receiver, but Solomon slipped on his route, forcing Montana to improvise and go to his second read, Dwight Clark. Question 3, who was the first quarterback to throw 50 touchdowns in a year? Dan Marino, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, or Drew Brees?
With 2 games.
It's between Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. If it's not dumb. I'm thinking it's Tom Brady. The year with Randy Moss. Unless Peyton Manning did it earlier, but I am going to go with Tom Brady.
Left to play. Single season records for both passing yards and touchdowns were in
2007.
reach.
Manning holds the record for TDs in a season with 55. Brees and Marino never hit 50 in a season. So yes, the answer is TB12, who threw for 50 in 2007, the year no one beat New England.
I even put the year on it.
Till the very end.
Let's go.
Question 4. Which team is the oldest in the NFL? The Packers, the Giants, the Bears,
I'm not gonna pause
or
it.
the Cardinals?
They started in the little stadium that held 25,000 people.
We'll go with the Chicago Bears. The Packers. We'll go with the Packers.
Cardinals,
It's the Cardinals.
who were
See,
founded
I
in
had no idea on that one.
1898. They've played in Chicago, St. Louis, and Arizona. Only them and the Bears lasted out of the 14 original teams that made up the APFA as it was first known back in 1920. Question 5. There's been some epic post-game rants throughout NFL history. Name the coach who dropped this gem.
The Bears are who we thought they were. That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crowd them, then crowd.
I don't think I'm going to get this one because there's like not even a name that's coming. I don't even have a guess for this one. I don't know what his name is.
It is, of course, Dennis Green. Back in 2006, he was head coach of Arizona. Cardinals lost to the Bears, even though they took the ball away from Chicago 6 times. Had the ball for 40 minutes, and despite being up 23-3 in the third, that lead erased by 2 defensive TDs, a Devin Hester punt return for a touchdown, and a shanked field goal. So yeah, Green was slightly peeved after.
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Thanks, Coach.
Question 6, off to Buffalo for this one. What did they call the Bills' Jim Kelly-led offense? Buffalo Wild Wings, Bills on Parade, K-Gun, or the Bills Brothers?
Last play.
I've never heard of this. We want to go with Buffalo Wild Wings. I have no idea. I've never heard of this.
And he dives for the touchdown.
It was the K-Gun offense.
That was
and
the one that I was
named after Kelly. Try tight end Keith McKellar of all people. When the Bills began implementing more no huddle up.
Literally, the one answer that I would have said absolutely no chance of being would have been K-Gun. Oh, see, this is why I was a little nervous to do this video.
Tempo formations, McKellar was often a key chess piece, lining up in multiple spots to create mismatches. The package that featured McKellar heavily was initially referred to in the playbook as K-Gun, shorthand for Keith McKellar gun formation. Question 7, number 32 has been worn by all but one of these players. Franco Harris, Tony Dorsett, Marcus Allen, or Jim Brown.
This is a hard-working, tough SO.
You're already a 7, dude. I have no idea. I don't know who Franco Harris is, so that doesn't help me. I was almost thinking... Oh, man. I'm pretty sure Marcus Allen did wear 32. I was thinking either Tony Dorsett or Jim Brown wore 28. I'm going to go with Tony Dorsett wearing 28.
And he was first
the number
and
doesn't
foremost
matter,
a football
but
player. I mean, he was a man.
Tony Dorsett was handed the number 33 in college
33.
randomly. Dorsett's response, I didn't care what number I wore, I just wanted to run.
All right,
Run,
well,
Dorsett, run.
Still got it right.
Question 8. How many Super Bowls has New England played in?
And the Patriots are Super Bowl!
Not a multiple choice.
In the early 2000s.
How many have they played in? So he's got... Tom Brady's got... He's got 5, but he only got 4 with them. They lost 2. That's 6. We'll go with 7.
They won 3 of 4.
I don't
now
know,
they
though.
have won 3 of the last
11.
5.
Yeah.
Carry the 1, divide by TB12, 11 times, most of any team in NFL history. Seems so long ago now, but they made the Super Bowl with Tony Eason and Drew Bledsoe pre-Belichick Brady. They went 6-3 during their run. Question 9. How many times has a team been crowned champs 3 times in a row?
I'm not going to stop. I'm going to say 3 times.
Had to pay attention to the fine print, didn't ask how many teams have won the Super Bowl 3 times. Green Bay won 3 NFL titles in a row from 1929 to 1931, and again
That's why I was thinking
from
just the earlier
65
years,
to
too. There wasn't that many
67.
teams.
Answer we were looking for was 2.
Dang.
Question
So close.
10. What did the 1998 Falcons adopt as their moniker on their way to a Super Bowl clash with the John Elway Denver Broncos?
Please give me multiple choice. Dude. This guy doesn't know ball. I don't know. I was 4 years old at this point, which doesn't really matter in the sense of sports because you just kind of learn things as you go. I don't know.
A chance to do the Dirty Bird.
Before Rise Up, Rose.
I'm not even going to lie. I was going to say Dirty Birds. I'm a Carolina Panther fan, and I was literally going to say that, but not for the sake of this being the actual answer. So Not
Up,
correct.
Atlanta was known as the Dirty Birds, still are kind of.
They still are,
the name
yeah.
originating from star running back Jamal Anderson's end zone dance, which all Falcons players busted out upon scoring. Anderson said it was a combination of a strut, a wing flap, and whatever came to mind. It just felt right. So it was the Humpty Dance before the Humpty Dance. Question 11. Which one of these refs is calling intentional grounding?
Yeah, how was that not grounded?
Yeah, they talking about
C.
There's nobody close.
The flag, fellas, there it is.
Yeah, so you can even read his lips.
The correct answer is C. And odd fact, since 2000, Phillip Rivers has been flagged the most for intentional grounding. Question 12. Which nickname did Denver's elite wide receiver trio in the late 80s and early 90s go by?
Elway passed out frequent flyer awards to his exceptionally talented wide receivers, who made the Broncos offense one that exploded in all directions.
Chevy Chase,
Amigos,
Martin
never heard of
Short,
that.
Steve Martin, anyone? They were the three amigos, and so were Denver's Vance Johnson, Ricky Nattiel, and Mark Jackson. Question 13, spelling bee time. How do you spell Ben Roethlisberger's last name?
I'm not a pocket.
It is Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger.
Passer. I can make throws in the pocket. I'm not a running quarterback, but I can make plays with my legs. I'm just a crazy gunslinger back there.
Nope. It was an I instead of an E. Unless I said that. Did I say I? I don't think I said IS. I think I said ES. And they're definitely wrong. ROETH. Yeah, nope. L.
ROETHLISBERGER. It's Swiss German and more common than you might think. There were 314 Roethlisbergers in the U.S. in 2010. Only one played for Pittsburgh, though. Question 14. Tyshun Samuel goes by Debo due to his punishing style reminding folks of the character Debo from Friday. That's my bike punk. There was a Pittsburgh Steeler from 2002 to 2017 who first earned that nickname. Who is it?
He's one of the most intimidating, scariest football players that I've
I don't
ever been
know.
around.
I'm tempted to see if I even know the name. Like,
You see Debo here?
Plenty of quarterbacks had Smokey jumping over the top
I do
of
know
them,
who James
telling
Harrison
them
is. I've
James
never
Harrison
heard him
just knocked
been
you the
called
football
Debo.
out. They say teammates would joke if something goes missing in the locker
This
room.
one's
Check
scary,
with
dude.
Debo.
Oh, I'm gonna kill your ass.
Question 15. As of 2025, which number has been worn by the most Hall of Fame players?
This is
12,
killing me.
14, 16,
12's a
or
good. It's
18?
the quarterback number.
once dreamed that I would one day.
I'll go with 12. That's just a shot in the dark. I mean,
Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady will bring the 12s closer, but
it's not
for
it.
now it's the 16s. Montana,
16.
George Blanda, Len Dawson, Frank Gifford, Ken Stabler, all number 16 guys. A total of 11 players have worn 16 and made it into Canton. So far, 8 12s have made it, by the way. Question 16. Can a team score a single point without scoring a TD?
This is going to be the hardest point that Travis.
if they block the extra point and return it for a, they say touchdown, I think you just get 1 point out of that.
Coons is ever going to have to get in the NFL.
This will be the longest probably.
Extra point in NFL history?
Yes.
Answer is yes.
You kidding me?
I've never heard that.
I've never heard that either.
Learn something new every day.
Though no team has ever scored a point via the 1 point safety, so we still haven't seen a team end a game with a single point, but it's possible. The only way it can occur if there was an unsuccessful conversion attempt that the defense scooped up, ran down the field, only to be stripped of the football with the offensive team picking up the ball outside of the end zone and getting tackled inside the end zone. So yeah, don't hold your breath, but it is possible.
What the hell's going on out here?
What the heck?
Question 17. Name any one of the divisions used by the NFL from 1967 to 1969.
For out of the darkness and despair of a last place finish in 1966 had come a new team in 19...
Can you name any division used? I don't know, American League?
1967, full of new names and new faces.
The Capital Division consisted of the Cowboys, Redskins, Eagles, and Saints. The Giants were in the Century Division with Cleveland, the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Coastal Division, Rams, 49ers, Colts, and Falcons. The Central, the only one that made sense, Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay, and Minnesota. Question 18.
Yeah, I'd never heard of any of those before.
Which player goes next in this sequence? Drew Bledsoe, Terry Bradshaw, Dan Marino. Is it Dan Fouts, Phillip Rivers, or Patrick Mahomes?
The stadium turf was a blank canvas, awaiting the brushstroke.
Huh? I wish they would have typed out that question again and, like, gave you what answers to pick from, because, like, that just confused me from listening to it.
Books of a talented artist who painted his masterpieces by lighting up the skies.
Bledsoe wore the number 11, Bradshaw 12, Marino 13, so we were looking for Dan Fouts, who wore 14. Question 19.
Okay.
How many teams play in New York?
The New York Giants are the
I don't think any teams play in New York.
winners in the Super Bowl.
We think
They're
that
both
this
in New
was one of the
Jersey.
great performances and one of the great teams
Trick
to
question.
come to New York.
The answer
See, and it was a trick question because it got me thinking of only the New York teams and not Buffalo, even though it's in New York.
There's just one, the Buffalo Bills. The Jets and Giants are posers. They technically play in New Jersey, which is where you find MetLife Stadium. Question 20. Can you name the only team in the NFL that hasn't altered its logo?
Most NFL teams have updated their logos.
I've even like seen this question before, which I don't know if it counts for now. Like the the Houston Oilers, but then they moved to Tennessee Titans, so that doesn't. I don't know if it would still count. I know like the Cowboys did, like just barely. They like outlined the star. Browns used to have like a mascot. Even the Jaguars, I think, changed it too. The Panthers have changed theirs, like a couple of like reiterations of it. I mean, like the Green Bay's a possibly good answer. We'll go Green Bay. I don't know.
This is a Minnesota Viking football helmet.
The Houston Texans hit the scene in
Dude, I'm struggling. The newest team in the freaking NFL.
2002 haven't altered their red, white, and blue Spanish fighting bullhead since. The curve in the skull, by the way, meant to replicate the Gulf Coast of Texas. Question 21. Name one of the two teams that has held the #1 pick in the draft a total of 7 times, which is the most for any team in history.
With the first pick.
And with this, you kind of got to think bad teams and have been along for a long time. I'm going to just give an answer and like it not be anywhere near correct. Like, I almost want to say the Browns. We'll go with the Browns.
The Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward.
And like the Lions, maybe. Browns and Lions.
The Colts have picked first 7 times. George Shaw, Bubba Smith, John Elway, Jeff George, Steve Entman, Peyton, and Andrew Luck, their firsts. The Rams also with 7. Billy
A
Wade,
double
Billy
L,
Cannon, Terry
bro.
Baker, Corby
How is it
Davis,
not the
Orlando Pace,
Browns?
Sam Bradford, and Jared Goff, their ones. Question 22. Early in his career, a newspaper held a Joe Montana nickname contest. Which one of these did he like so much that he had it stenciled over his locker? Joe Cool, Sweet 16, David W. Gibson, or Bird Legs?
Well, he's got funny legs for a quarterback, doesn't he?
I'm going to go with Joe Cool. I don't know this either.
While Bird Legs was an actual nickname used by Montana's teammates, so he had skinny stems. What of it? David W. Gibson is the
16. I
right
like that
answer.
too.
A fan argued Joe Montana already sounded like a cool nickname, so offered up what he thought was a more boring salesman type name as a counter. Question 23, Deion Sanders wore 21 for 4 different teams over his career. The only team he didn't wear 21 for, the Ravens. What number did he wear in Baltimore his last 2 years in the league?
I prepare to win, I prepare to dominate.
Like, for some reason I'm seeing 8, but I don't know if I'm just kind of picturing Lamar. We'll go with 32. I don't know,
I prepare
man.
to conquer, and I prepare to win it all. That's one of the
32.
reasons I'm here.
Sanders was 37 years old when he unretired after 3 years to sign up for the Purple. Deion used his number to remind opposing receivers how old the guy covering them was. He played the next year too, though. Not sure why he didn't wear 38 then. Question 24. Since 1960, 5 teams have gone winless. The 2017 Browns, the 2008 Lions, the 1960 expansion Cowboys, the 1982 Colts, who went 0-8-1 in a strike year. What team is missing from that list?
1976 was one long and torturous test. It began with
I'm wanting to say the Browns again. But what's the only team? What's the only other team? So it can't be anyone that they've already named? And if it's like an old one, I don't know. Panthers won 1 game 1 year, but they didn't lose them all. We'll go with the Colts.
the loss
And they might have said the
repeated
Colts in the
13
thing.
times.
The
When you
Bucks.
dress like this, what do you expect? The 1976 expansion Buccaneers
negative
not
20
only started
years
off 0-14,
at that point.
they lost their first 12 games the next season too. Talk about your rough starts. And finally, question 25, the last question. Which
question.
team did Tampa Bay beat when they finally snapped their losing streak the next year?
It finally happened.
They beat the
Buccaneers
Raiders.
released the frustrations of almost 2 years of waiting.
Who dat you say gonna beat them Saints?
A division
The
rival.
0-26 Buccaneers.
That's
who,
tough.
Who
I'm
ironically
bad.
or coincidentally
I'm
jumped
bad.
out.
I'm sorry that you guys just had to set through that, because that was rough. I was expecting it to be a lot more, almost newer in a sense, not going to be dating back to whenever I wasn't even alive. Like, I need one for like just like 2000s and on. That way I can be a little bit more confident in my answers. But that was rough. If there is any like trivia things that are in the newer sense, please let me know. That way I can kind of do that one and see if I can keep up with all you smart, intelligent folk. So, yep, that's going to be the end of this video. I'm ForeverAfterReacts. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.